From Viking halls to the cities of the future, terrain buffs will love our foreground hub. Watch gaming tables of all genres come to life at beastsofwar.com. It's time for 28mm World War II action. Will you recreate history or reshape it your way? On the Bolt Action Hub at beastsofwar.com.
So, hi guys, welcome to What's in the Box. Time for more Team Yankee. Okay, this time we're going for the Yankees.
Yes, we are.
We're having a look at the M109 Paladin artillery piece.
Beautiful,
beautiful kit.
Roll out the big guns, America. When they do big guns, they do really good big guns.
Yeah. Well, they're like, look at these things. They are ridiculously big guns on these vehicles. Of course, it's not the funniest one I've ever seen stuck on a vehicle. Was there not a little Scorpion Scout car where they stuck a 90mm gun on it?
Yes, there was a. If you guys who aren't aware, you Google search the CVRT Scorpion 90.
Aye.
It's basically a small tracked reconnaissance vehicle made out of aluminium that they fitted a 90mm gun to.
It's hilarious to watch.
Prototyped only, funnily enough.
Funnily enough, you say.
Yep.
We
So,
have two sets.
In the box, we have 3 M109s.
Yes.
And what's nice about the 109s is they have a 155mm howitzer.
That's scary.
Because it's a howitzer, it has direct and indirect fire. So if something's getting a little too close to your artillery, they can drop that elevation down and they can fire direct line of sight.
Lovely.
Yeah.
There are just times whenever you want to turn around to someone on the battlefield and go, you know what? Nope.
Yeah, exactly. I think if someone came across these, if an infantry platoon came across these, and they just turned around and went, nope, and just disappeared them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get the components under the camera here.
Yep.
So we've got the main hull and turret.
Mm-hmm.
It actually has a turret.
Yes.
Why does an artillery piece have a turret?
Because well,
this shooting sight on with a 109 gun seems like a bad plan to me.
No, those are perfectly fine. You do technically have to fire them from outside the vehicle, but that's okay. Yes, you do.
Hang on, what?
You generally, I think, for safety reasons, the Paladin crews actually fire them from outside the vehicle.
Then why have it enclosed in the first place?
Because if something went wrong,
aye,
there's no crew in the vehicle and it may contain its own explosion. Happened in the Gulf War. No, happened in 2003.
Really?
A Paladin misfired and blew the side of the turret out. That's why you don't stand inside when a 155mm gun goes off.
Okay, that's me in my place.
But yes, the reason for having a turret, so you don't have to rotate the vehicle when you need to acquire a new target.
All right. Well, I suppose it's the advantage a tank has always had over, say, something like a tank destroyer or an artillery piece.
Anything that has limited traverse or no traverse.
Yeah. So we'll put that to one side.
Yep.
We've got 2 metal tracks.
Yep, our track components.
Again, they have been inscribed for left and right so that you don't get it wrong and put them on back to front, which that always annoys me when I see it. I know it's a little thing, but I like the track to be facing the correct direction.
Yes. Let's look at the accessories first because I want to keep the other bit for last.
All right. So, accessories.
Yep.
Your options are open hatch, closed hatch, and 2 feet to put on the back of it so that it can actually dig in and not flip itself onto its roof.
Yes. When it's firing direct front off the vehicle, those will help support the vehicle in the recoil.
Yeah. Now, there's a bit of flash on these, but it's flash. It comes off really easily. Just a little bit of a twist and it's gone. You
also have a 50 caliber machine gun to put on.
Oh, I missed that.
Yep. Ooh. So you have a little 50 caliber to put on there, or as the Americans want to call it, the Madus, the M2 machine gun.
Really?
Yes.
Why are they calling a 50 cal a Madus?
Because we know it as a 50 cal because us Brits really like mentioning caliber, millimeter and stuff. That's how we know our weapons.
That makes sense to me.
Americans tend to have certain nicknames or certain different, names of stuff.
This does not make sense to me.
So
I'm sorry, it just doesn't.
But in military terms, it's fine because you know a Madus is a 50 cal. You know the SAW is the M240.
Nope.
The M240 SAW.
Nope. Didn't know it was an M240.
The M240 is a really fast firing machine gun. It's called the SAW.
Okay.
Because it is as fast as a saw and it can cut through things like a saw.
Okay, well that makes sense. The Madus does not.
It's the M2 machine gun. The Ma-2. Deuce.
Okay, fine.
There you go.
I feel
Aris, can you help me here?
No, I'll say
Can't get the staff.
I'll say this now. I failed French in school. Now the important bit.
This isn't French.
Deuce!
Fine, whatever. Yes, this is the business end. The glorious business end.
Yes, this is that ultimate moment of you see that building in the distance. You see that tank in the distance. You see that hotel in the distance.
Yeah.
It mildly offends me. Bye-bye.
Do you see all those trench works on the top of that hill? How many paladins do we have? 20, you say? That's fine. We can remove that in about 5 minutes.
Now, there's one thing also that came along with this. I'm not sure if it's meant to be in the box.
A minefield token.
Yes, there's a minefield token in our box. Now,
Oh.
I don't know if that's meant to be here.
Oh, well, yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, so this is an interesting little addition then.
Yes. We'll briefly do some of the special rules on the stat card before we go off and build these.
Well, let's actually get them built first, and then we'll go through the specials.
We'll build them first.
So we'll be right back. How did they go together, John? You built these?
Really nice. Really, really nice. A credit to Battlefront yet again for making a hybrid kit that works really well and is very easy to put together.
Well, let's have a look at it. So we've got our main gun.
Yes.
We've got our Cupola with machine gun.
He's not going to call it the Madus.
50 cal.
There you go.
You've got your tracks on, and then you've got these sort of...
The two spades, we'll call them.
yeah, they're essentially spades to dig into the back so that you don't flip your tank over on its head.
Yeah.
It's really nice once it's done. I would like to see it with some primer and some camouflage on it.
Yeah.
But I have to wonder, what type of camouflage would this have got?
Generally, the box art is generally correct. They had the Americans had a 3-tone camouflage of like an olive green, a lightish olive green with a bit of sand and a bit of black.
Okay, fair enough. Well, let's put all three in a battery. And show them on the camera.
You could quite happily make these a multi-period vehicle and have them Gulf War, Iraq War, and stuff like that, and paint them sand.
Okay. Well, there they are as a battery, and yeah, that just looks more than a little intimidating.
Yes, and it's reflected in the stat card.
Okay.
So let's have a look at it here. We'll do points cost first.
Okay.
Okay, so what you get in the box
3
is 7 points for 3.
That's...
You can double that. You can make a battery of 6 for 14 points. So it's a bit more pricey, but what you're getting is excellent.
Okay. Run it down for me.
Options. Arm all M109s with bomblets for 1 point each.
Bomblets?
Yes. Arm all M109s with minelets for 1 point each.
Is that why we have this?
Quite possibly. Arm all M109s with laser-guided projectiles.
What?
Aye.
Okay.
That sounds cool. I have no idea what they are, but that sounds cool. So special rules: bomblets
Yes.
may fire bombardment with rate of fire salvo, anti-tank 3, firepower 6.
Okay.
Brutal. Infantry and unarmored target teams reroll successful saves. So that is basically your air bursting ammunition.
So it's basically air bursting and it's raining grenades.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Not so much hallelujah, but oh my god.
Okay.
All right, here's the interesting one, right? So laser-guided projectiles.
Yeah.
May fire laser-guided projectiles instead of bombardments. Use observer team's line of sight, minimum range 16 inches. Anti-tank 21, firepower 2+.
Is there a max range on that?
Brutal, guided, and heat. The max range will be the max range of the gun.
Right.
Which is 96 inches.
Right, so 8-foot long table. I'm at this end of the map.
My paladins are at the other end of the map.
Well, that's where I was saying they were. I have a Sparta team up the other end of the map. Oh look, there's a unit of tanks there. Hello, Paladin! I need a deletion here, if you please.
Yes.
Big red button.
So that's the point. The laser-guided projectiles are essentially the anti-tank round.
Yeah.
Because they have the brutal rule, guided rule, and heat.
Aye.
So they are that sort
High
of...
explosive anti-tank.
Yeah, the high explosive anti-tank. That's your chemical sort of reaction explosion.
Right, so I'm guessing Chobham wouldn't want to get hit with this.
Not on the top of a tank that had Chobham. Because it wouldn't have Chobham on the top.
Okay.
Minelets, once per game, can fire scatterable mines instead of a bombardment.
Ah!
So it's kind of like the bomblets, except they become landmines when they hit.
Yeah, so that explains exactly why we get this little token with it.
Yeah.
Because these things can actually fire a landmine field. That's actually really cool.
That's interesting because they could defend themselves by doing that.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, they could completely cut off a route of attack for someone.
Yep.
I mean, say there was infantry about to move through a section that was going to bring them too close.
Yep.
Fire!
You also have smoke. You can drop a smoke bombardment with them as well.
Of course.
Of course, you will
Smoke
always...
is incredibly important in this kind of game because if you can block your enemy's line of sight, that means you get free movement. Having free movement means you can get into good firing position and basically give them a paddling.
Yeah, it's paddling. So the howitzer itself, like I've said, 96 inches. That's firing non-line of sight.
Aye.
That's firing indirect.
Aye.
Direct fire is 36 inches. That is still horribly respectable.
Yeah, well, 4-foot table. Deploy in, say, 12 inches. I can reach right to the end of your deployment.
Yep. But you don't want these things to be seen because the front armor's 2, the side armor's 2, and the top armor's 1.
Okay, so let's find some ruined buildings and plant them in and amongst them. Get your spotter teams on the go and wreak hell.
Yep. So anybody with the most menial anti-tank weapon can take these things out.
So basically, someone with a RPG team.
Yeah. RPGs would eat these things for breakfast.
Do not let RPGs get close to these then.
Yep.
Because they will not like it. Oh, and I forgot, yes.
Yes, they turn. But before we finish,
Yeah.
I just want to hand it to the Americans.
Yes?
Because the Americans do 2 things excellent.
Okay.
They do air support, excellent. They do artillery, superbly.
Okay.
They're probably the world leaders in artillery technology.
Okay. You don't know what they're currently using, do you?
I believe they're still using versions of the Paladin.
Ah, right.
It may be a more uprated version. The gun is probably the same, but it's what they're firing now.
But you see, this I find interesting because modern day tanks aren't actually modern day. They've been in service for maybe 30, 40 years.
Abrams has been in service since, I believe it's the 70s.
Yeah, so there's a 40-year-old tank.
Yep.
And we still consider it a modern battle tank.
Yep.
But I suppose it has had the full life extension program.
Yeah.
You know, I have to wonder what's going to happen whenever those come to the end of their life, you know, and what we're going to see next in the world of tanks.
There's plenty of speculation of what's happening PL-01 for
It's a beautiful
one thing.
vehicle. If you haven't seen it, go YouTube it.
The Russians have the T-14 Armata.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical on that. They're going in the right direction. Maybe not in the best executed way yet, but we'll see.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. Drop your comments below. Have you used the Paladins in your games of Team Yankee yet? Have you faced off against them? Drop your comments below and we will see you in the next video.
Humanity has been driven from Earth, but now it's time to take it back. Join the Reconquest and fight the Scourge on the Drop Zone Commander Hub at beastsofwar.com. Flames of War brings you the battles of World War II in epic 15mm scale. Go to the hub on beastsofwar.com to find news, tactics, and tutorials about the game.